So today is a bit colder and a bit wetter outside. On and off raining today. It is kind of, I can show you, it's kind of, So honestly, it wouldn't be a terrible day to wash the car, but the windows are stuck open because we got no juice in there. So today's plan, you can barely see my head, to get some juice in this body, check the wiring, and see if we can get power to roll up the windows. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but we'll figure it out. And the problem is this trunk was designed to have the wing on it. It doesn't have the wing on it. So when you pull the lever, it just shoots up like nobody's business. Yep. Alright, I hit that instead. Get that out of the way, and then I'm going to bring you over here. Notice that the seat is in the car, but it's not in the car, if you get what I'm saying. Alright. So, there's the battery. The negative terminal has not been hooked up, so what I'm going to do is take my fancy tool here. Which is not in there, so I need to find it. And I need to check the charge level of the battery. Alright, let me find this damn thing. I'll be back. Alright, well, I can't find my nice one. So I'm just gonna see if I can slap this battery tender on there and see what that'll do for me, which once again I let someone else use and is damaged. So I'm done doing that. This is ridiculous. The level of disrespect is absolutely absurd. Let's see if we can get anything done in here. So I have no idea what the charge of this battery is. But at the very least, looks like it might be taking a small charge from the tender. In fact, let me see if my multimeter has some juice in it. Alright. Somehow this thing still works after sitting forever. But let me go ahead and see what we can do. See what kind of charge we have, so I know what I'm working with. See how much time I'm going to waste. Oh boy. Well, it says we got 12.7 volts, so should have power. So here's the big thing. This seems like it would be the negative, which goes to nothing. Where does that go? It goes right to the chassis. So this should go right there. You didn't see any of that. This should go right there. Now you should have power to the car. This is all audio stuff, so I might try to remove that so this doesn't turn into a big bomb. Somehow. I've never seen a crazy ass clamp like that. But big full body fuse, which isn't mounted, which that's fine. It goes up into the chassis. So let me see if I can find this big blue-ish cable. Problem is, I don't know exactly where it would go. So I went into the body. Ugh. Okay. That's it right there. So this needs to wire into the fuse box here. No idea what the hell that is. Got empty connectors all over the place. That kind of looks like an engine harness. There's your fuel. Okay, so I need to terminate this and connect it to the fuse box. So I'm going to try to clear this out so I can figure out how the hell this all goes. This harness is out of the way. Is this mounted somewhere obvious? Oh, that looks like it might be the main end. This is loose, we'll just take that off. Right there. And up here. Yep. So that's where that goes. Some of these blocks are loose. Doesn't necessarily say that that's going to feed the car, but since this main line is literally coming, this is probably, yeah. Okay. Seems reasonable to me that this is supposed to go in here. And I would assume that this might go into the body. Unless this is supposed to split off to the body fuse block. I don't know. We're going to try to clean that up. Maybe not. I know there was some. That little junction thing has Allen keys. I know there was some in the interior. Let's see if those are. If they just so happen to be that size. Like this. That one's actually too big. Okay. That's alright. There was another one. Which might, ironically, end up being too small. Well, let's find out. Nope. That was too big too. Interesting. They're the same size. It might be. Nope, the second one's actually bigger than the first one. Allen keys. I have some. Let's see if I get this size. First try from the back. Yeah, no, it's too small. Trying this one. Oh, that's too big. Also too big. Just gonna make a fool out of myself trying to find a goddamn Allen key. Alright, well, it's not this. Here's my other set of options. That one looks like it's gonna be too big. And it is. How about this guy? That one's too small. Ah. I did. This one will work. So now I'm going to try to see if I can even get that in the hole nicely. Because this little screw here actually went all the way through. So now I'm going to clean up a bit of wire there. Try to get it all grouped up together nicely here. So I can fit it in a hole that it is clearly too big for. This isn't the ideal tool, but it'll work. Just trying to grab these and squish and twist. There's a lot of wire in here. That I am trying to shove into this hole. Okay, that's not working. So I think the answer is to trim it back a little more. And maybe cut off this wire here, but it's not ideal. I'd really rather not slice my hand open. This is a very sharp blade. The wires are actually in nicer shape further in, and not this big mess out here. So that's promising. Let me try some gloves. I'm gonna try to straighten these wires out a bit. See if I can get them in this hole. They definitely don't want to go in there nicely. See? So, I wonder if I can just trim off the excess. I'm not going to necessarily recommend you doing what I'm doing. There's probably a better, righter way to do it. But right now, I'm just doing my best trying to get this running. Mostly right now these interior bits. You can feel free to roast me in the comments, I'm sure you will anyways. I am definitely no expert. I'm just a dude in a garage doing dude things. Alright. I don't know if this is gonna work. I literally have no clue. But this does appear to be where it should go, so. These wires weren't so frayed. Honestly, it would probably just go right in there, but they're all floofed out from previous activities, it seems. It's in. Doesn't seem tight. Well, now I'm curious. Let's see what happens when I connect the battery. Hopefully no explosion. You know what, before I do that, I am going to pull all those the audio wiring off of those terminals, because that's just raw power straight to a chassis. So I'm gonna do that first. More fucking Allen keys, man. Allen keys, what the hell? Not gonna dick around with those bags this time. have my little Walmart toolkit. This little adapter and some things. Right size should hopefully be in here somewhere. Alright. So these two are on the negative terminal. I'm going to hang them there. And I'm just going to unhook. Oh hell, let's loose up the nice. Alright. Take both of these positive ones off, which are interesting. They're like little nuts that cinch the wires down. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. But I also don't get into fancy, so I have to pull out some wrenches. Neither of them are 13. One's bigger, one's smaller. Let's try 14 on that big one. Yep, that fits. And I'll show you what I'm talking about once I get them out of here. Check this out. It's actually kind of cool, truthfully. This is nut that goes onto the end of the wire and then you just shove it in there. It's pretty rad, actually. But I'm going to try to get the nut off, stick it back on the terminal, because I don't know if I'll be using these at all. I just have to trim off this extra wire out the end. I don't know yet. I don't know, I'm gonna get it. Maybe not. It's very tight. Alright, so there's one. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back on there. Let's get this nice little... Oh, this is just kind of rad. This is on the positive side. Obviously it has the fuse, which is not blown, which is cool. So we'll hang that over here. Put this nut back in here. Doesn't seem integral to the actual terminal being tight on there. And then we'll try the 12 for the smaller one, just because. No, I think it's a 10. Yeah, there we go. Pop her loose. And screw it. So this side of the terminal has, and I'll get you a better view of this. This side has two of these fancy little nut things. This one is smaller gauge cable. I'm assuming a smaller fuse. Yeah, same idea. So maybe this was to like a set of subs or the amp or vice versa. I just know this wiring was for audio based on what the previous owner told me. So take this one off, screw it back in, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So here's the negative terminal. This one had these on the side. Two there, one there. And then this is the positive with the fancy stuff. There's the two small ones, and then the big beefy boy, and then a major beefy boy with a 250 amp fuse. So there's that terminal. And there's that terminal. So far, no booms. See if there's any magical smoke. Nope. Let's see if we have any sort of power to the inside of the car. Oh God. Nothing. There's nothing in here at all. So, this is all just dash, I would assume, since all of this is plugged in. So now I need to find the fuse box in here, because I don't remember where it is. Guessing it's over there, because it would just be my luck that it's in a smaller sized area, but it has a seat, so yeah, let's see. You know, I should probably try tightening up the terminals first too, just to be doubly sure. And of course, these are Allen keys too. Alright, so there's that one. I'm just gonna put that on my rack, because it is in a very tight spot. Then the positive side is actually bigger. Oh God. So the terminals both say they're positive. The actual like metal chunks themselves, I mean, they're not, but there's two different things going on here. This is just kind of becoming bizarre. But for the record, I did not do this. So don't yell at me, Internet. I'm just trying to put it together and get it running. Alright, both terminals are now tight. Let's see if anything's going on. I'm not seeing any magic smoke, which is promising. Alright, let's try putting the keys in and see what happens. Still nothing, no dings, no nothing. Obviously it's not going to start. So let me just try. I'm going to actually readjust this a bit. So I'm going to and to be fair, the dings and all that might be disconnected. So there's that module plugged in. Nothing. Okay. I wonder if these have a BCM. I don't know. Alright, let's continue looking around. Becoming a bit more of a project than I anticipated, but... Oh, look, the funnel. I think I actually have this exact kit in the kitchen. So there's a main junction right there. Comes around the front here, goes up in here, goes through here, still following, splits off this way. Okay, I think that's just for the rest of the stuff up there. I'll try to do a little bit more digging around here. I'm wondering if maybe this might have to be, no, because there's nothing running through that. I'm going to try to kind of loosely mount this up, just like that. Get the screw in there. And try to understand what's going on here a little better. So the battery, obviously, used to be right here. There's no main gubbins of that remaining. So the main power had to go in somewhere, which looks like should have been this. But this block here is not factory. Aha! So I'm going to snip that. This is a ground, which probably needs to be mounted somewhere. But where? Don't really have any extra bolts. This whole whatever the zip tied to it, I'm just going to snip that. No clue what the that is. This ground has to go somewhere that makes sense. You know what? This right here almost makes sense. Almost. Not 100%, but almost. I'm going to snug that down. See what the hell happens. The long screw. Bolt. It's a bolt. Alright, so that's snugly mounted. Seems to make sense. I'll show you. Please, S14 chassis owners, let me know. So we go from here, it goes down, around, it's this, and right there. I don't know, it just makes sense. So now that has power and ground, so we have full circuits. Let's try this again. Nothing. Okay. Right. So I'll be the first to admit, and I'm not afraid to admit, that I don't know a whole lot about S chassis. Other than the fact that I love them. But I haven't had one long enough, nor with the finances long enough to tinker with it to any degree like this, which is why I kind of thought it'd be a good idea. After looking around, I have female plugs on the fuse box that I can't find the male connectors for, which I'm guessing is probably going to be on the engine harness, which I have a brand new one of. So there's a connector, some sort of big red connector that I don't have because it's supposed to be on the engine bay, on the engine. That's supposed to go to the starter, a starting charging system. I don't have that, so I'm assuming that's going to be part of the engine harness. But apparently that also wraps around to to inside to a kick panel that is apparently over here on the driver's side. Which you probably won't be able to see. Yeah, so there's that. I think feels like a fuse panel with nothing in it. There's nothing in that fuse panel. So what I think I might have to do is get all that fused up. I don't know why all the fuses would be removed. Whatever. Seems kind of dumb to me. And play around. I don't even see a harness going in over there. Internet says there is. Found an old Nico forum post. That says there is. But, oh look, a socket. A busted socket. Interesting. So, let's see. Looks like there might be another socket down there. There's some connector thingies. Those are vacuum lines. This is the throttle cable, vacuum lines, sticky gross vacuum lines. I do not see a harness going in over here. That's obvious. So for maybe down here. So maybe that's where this goes here. Which does come off of the fuse panel. But you would think if this has power and it runs all the way over here, that the fuse block should have power. So maybe I just gotta dig around and put some of those fuses in there and see how that goes. I'm gonna try that. So I've got this here ridiculous headlight. I'm gonna get down in there in that kick panel and I'm gonna see what's going on. This is gonna hurt me very uncomfortable. You know, truthfully, I honestly didn't expect to be on the floor already with this car. But here we are. So I'm going to use this reference photo. No, I can't because it is just absolute. So I need to find another reference photo. I don't think I'm going to go in now. Oh no, there's fuses in there. Okay. But there's a massive connector that is not plugged in. Let's see here. This out of the way. That out of the way. I can see unplugging the fuse box. Making sense. Nope. It is just a rigid connector. So everything seems to be plugged in, except for that one connector, which I have no idea. There's no way it's this. I have no idea what this one connector is. What even is this? There's no clue, but that's just wired into a fuse poorly. This green wire is wired into a fuse, ghetto. And there's a ground for the box. It's got no cover. I might have the cover somewhere, honestly. does this other wire go? Up in there, through a hole. Yeah. Vacuum lines for the boost gauge. Or boost controller, I'm assuming. Oh god. What the? Oh god. So there is an empty connector. I have no idea what it's for. However, this should have power. It doesn't. So I think I need to trace the wire for that back. Try to figure out why there's no power coming here. It doesn't make sense that there's nothing without the engine harness to me. It does not make sense to me. But I suppose I can go get it, see what's going on. 'Cause all he did, in regards to the batteries, relocated to the trunk. It's got the line run all the way up. So there's power going to the main fuse box. And there's ground back there. The fuse box is grounded, but got no power. And the forum post said there's a red connector. It's for the starting and charging system. That kills power to the whole car. But that connector is on the damn engine harness. And that doesn't make sense to me that an engine harness plug would stop power from going to the rest of the car. But I guess I'll just go find the engine harness. Maybe I can use the old one before I drag out the new one out to find the old one. I'm gonna go do that. However, before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode. So, down in the comments, please, S-Chassis guys, let me know. Where am I thinking wrong? Where am I going wrong? If you need any more info on the car, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. It's all the same. Just find Tatanka on there. I think I'm going to need more help than I initially thought.